everybody, and welcome back to the Comfort Level Podcast. I'm Maddie, and I'm here with
Denise,
Brandon,
Gina,
and today is the Momma-sode.
Momcast.
The Momcast. So I got Brandon's mom over here, and he's got my mom over there. Because this is how it is. She's in my corner, she's in his corner.
Yeah.
All right? This is an actual representation of how it is. But yeah, we're going to go through some...
child from another mother.
Yeah, some moms... See? It just happened.
Just like that.
Just, she's so smooth with it, too. She's like, yeah, well... Yep. Not you leaving him hanging. I'm going to zoom in on that.
I thought, oh no, is my microphone not working?
Oh, hey, you made it to our ad portion of the video where this video is sponsored by you and people like you on Patreon. We have so many different tiers. You could support us just because, you could support us to get early access, you could support us to get your name at the end of each video. Whatever you want to do, however you support us, even if it's just liking, subscribing, and even commenting or sharing on this video or any of our others, we really appreciate it. Also, for our audio listeners, we're now on Spotify, so make sure to check us out if you'd like to. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the video. So, are you guys ready for the first story?
Sure.
Am I the a-hole for telling my parents to pay me back my college tuition if they want a relationship?
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward.
Yes? Yes? Okay, wow. Brandon?
Can I hear the rest of the pop?
Am I the a-hole for telling my parents to pay me back my college tuition if they want a relationship?
That's pretty tough. Put money in a relationship.
Okay. Yeah, I would say yeah. Is it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
All
need
right.
to know some other context, though. See, I'm like, you can't just say, you know.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the whole point. You gotta guess.
That's the point.
I'm guessing. Well, I'm guessing that's a guess still for me.
Okay.
Yeah. If I can't have a relationship because of my money,
Okay.
you know.
Am I the a-hole for telling my parents to pay me back my college tuition if they want a relationship? I was raised by my parents who believed religiously and just culturally in rigid gender roles. Dad should work and mom should stay home with 3 kids. I'm the only girl and I have 3 brothers. Because of their expectations, I stay home with kids. They've never valued my education, educational achievements, or emphasized things beyond domestic skills. I'm the second youngest. By the time I was in high school, my 2 older brothers had gone to a college of their choice, with my parents fully covering tuition, books, and an off-campus apartment and other living expenses. They eventually did the same for my younger brother. I was told I wasn't allowed to apply for college. I did so in secret and got accepted with a partial scholarship. I didn't tell them I was moving out until a week before I left, with essentially nothing but what a few friends gave to me that their parents bought them for college. I took engineering and had to work to take on debt and struggle. My parents and I have barely spoken for years. I'm married now and expecting our first child. They asked me to meet up. We met at a park and they said that they were sorry if they caused me pain, but would like a relationship now. And I asked them specifically what they were sorry for. They didn't elaborate and they just said they wanted to move forward. I said that they could prove they were sorry by forwarding me the $100,000 my degree and college expenses were, just like they did for my brothers. My mom burst into tears, and my dad said I wasn't being serious and I should just leave. Since then, I've been getting calls from my brother telling me that I'm being immature and hurtful. I don't think so at all. Am I the a-hole?
Oh. I don't like how they, made it like a girls stay home, the wife stays home, and the boys get their education. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there should be some kind of compromise, I mean, not necessarily money, maybe help them pay your house off or something. I don't know.
I think there's a whole unpacking of issues that the title didn't let you guys in on.
Yeah.
So it's a lot heavier. It's a lot heavier than the title says.
Yeah.
Just like, a kid wanting their parents' money to pay for school,
I figured it was a little bit more than that. I guess
A little bit.
from my perspective, I guess I look at it a little bit different because there's a lot of cultural stuff that the parents, it sounds like that's traditional, and for them to even apologize for it was probably out of the norm for them anyway. So not that she should just be like, okay, but I don't know that I still agree that they owe her back that, because there hadn't been that conversation. There hasn't been, like, I don't know, like, they didn't work it out or talk about it. It's just now they've come to you, they've apologized. That's the first step. And then maybe later breaking it down and helping them to understand what that did. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she was hurt anywhere, because she kind of went behind their back to get enlisted in school and accepted. And so, and then just to take off and go to school. I just feel like maybe, like you said, there's some hidden feelings down there somewhere that, do you have mixed feelings like that, Maddie? Do you feel like I treat people a little better?
No. Well, I mean, it's not like you were a mom in the story where you're like, me and my sister Hannah can't go to school, but our two brothers can. If anything, you were always pushing to be like, you're gonna go to school, you're gonna get a degree. So I don't think you're comparable in this situation. And you've also always been the mom where we've never asked for money, but you and Dad have always been like, we want to help out as much as we can for your college. So I don't think you're anywhere comparable to this situation.
So sweet.
Yeah.
You want to sit next to me, Maddie?
No. You chose your side. I chose my side. All right.
Okay.
I would like my money back though.
Oh.
And
I mean, I would, because I work like 8 jobs, so I
Yeah.
could help out, No, I'm teasing.
I was like, I'm going to get it for you.
I do it every day. I would work 8,000 jobs just so you could have an education.
And I solely believe it because it feels like at times you did.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. Neither of our moms are comparable because my mom has been doing some crazy things, and I'm just like, bro, like, why are you? Like, you're doing too much. Like, but at the end of the day, like, she got me through college. I graduate, next quarter? Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
So.
Yes, that's awesome.
And it's, yeah, I think the thing that gets me about it is just like, just the cultural differences. Like, in Western culture, it's just like, that's just what you do as a parent, And I think we oftentimes take for granted, like you have people that are going to put you through school, but like, also just based on like how you are as a person. Like, there's some people that are like, can't go to school because they're girls. There's some people that can't go to school because it's what's in the family. But it's like, here we get the choice. We get to choose. And ultimately, it falls on the parents too sometimes. Like, like me, scholarships, didn't really apply for a lot. But then also, the ones I really wanted, didn't really get them. But it was just like, my mom was just like, yo, we got you. Don't worry about it. And it's just like, wow. And then I was able, like, that freed me to do what I wanted to do. And now I'm here.
I think that opens up a lot of like what you guys all were saying. It gives a different perspective, because at first when I read it, I was like, of course they are the a-hole and you're not the a-hole for being like, can you at least treat me the same as my siblings? Can you do that for me? But I think even what you said of like how we're used to the fact that we're in like a very like a country that has a lot of like developed ideals about like gender roles and stuff, that that isn't the norm around the world. And yeah, that's just like eye-opening that some people still have to deal with that and may not get the opportunity based off of their gender. That's crazy.
I think, well, there's the problem with this story is, well, first she went on a different culture, because they said they're like really rooted in the culture, right? Like, so it's like, okay, not only are you going against the culture, but 2, you went behind your parents' back. Like that that is where it doesn't become fair then at that point, because it's like, yeah, you want to live a different life or whatever, but at least be upfront with your parents about it.
Right.
You know, like, your parents' sole purpose is to protect you and cultivate you and make you grow. And if you're doing stuff behind their back, there's nothing they can do about that.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of my big fat Greek wedding when she was going to the university. I love that movie. Sorry, I love that
No,
movie.
I just-
love Big Fat Greek Wedding. I love that movie.
It made me laugh because I looked at you and you tried to like connect with me through my eyes of like, you know, and I was like, I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen? Oh my gosh, Maddie, you got to see Big Fat Greek Wedding. Then the story will make sense because the father was a traditional Greek father, and he did not. It was sort of like the same situation. The brothers were kind of doted on while the daughter had to take care of. I don't think there were kids necessarily, but it was just that, you know, he believed that college was going to turn her mind into, you know, she was going to become this different person, and the mom kept the secret for her that, you know, she went to school, and I don't remember what it was that she even went for, but anyway, she went to school, and then when it came out and she sat and talked with her dad and they kind of, you know, talked it through, she helped him to understand how important it was for her and that she wasn't going to become this different person. She was still going to be his girl, you know, and she's still going to love the tradition, although she did marry outside of Greek culture, which was a whole nother like funny story for her. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about here today. So let's get back on track. Sorry.
That was good though. I mean,
What was the resolve to that?
They got, well, I don't know. She got married to the guy and she finished college, and her dad bought them a house right across the street from them for their wedding gift. So the resolve was that he understood that because she was going to school, and even though she married outside of the Greek culture, that didn't change who she was as a person in terms of she still loved her culture, she still loved her family, and the only difference is that she brought something else into her, I don't know, into her
Arsenal?
yeah, sure, that's a good word.
It just enhanced her, you know, personality and her lifestyle, and you know, even for the family, it's something that can benefit everybody, not just her.
Right.
You know, for her education and stuff. So.
Thank you, because I was at a loss for words for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
But that's
gotcha.
what it was.
Let me play devil's advocate. So put yourself in the mother's shoes. How would you react?
The mother.
of the movie or of the story?
Of the story.
Of the story.
story.
Yeah, get back to the story.
yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that she's back and they want that relationship.
Yeah, you want the for the purpose of this podcast. Literally put us like, okay, I went to school for engineering. Behind your back, you didn't know. She went to school for engineering. Behind your back, you didn't know. And the first time you try to talk, it's like, yeah, where's the money at? Because you owe me. Because you did it for everybody else but not me. How would you react?
Well, I would probably be happy for her, one, but on the other hand, it's like, well, couldn't we have talked about this? Like you were saying before, you know, like we could have, you know, I see where you're at, you're a mom, and you have this great, you know, degree, and you have this great job. But, you know, if you really felt that way about it, maybe you could have talked to us about it instead of being so demanding now, you know, that kind of, you know, you didn't want to talk to me for all these years, and then now because we're reaching out to you, the only way we can see our grandchild is if we pay you, you know. So I think that would be kind of sad. I would be happy for her, but it'd be like, my baby, my grandbaby, you know. So grandkids, you, the family that I haven't, you know. I mean, was she married? I don't remember. Was she already married when she went to
Yeah.
school?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just like it's been so long
Yeah.
that she already had that she's married and has a family now.
Yeah. So I'm like, so the parents weren't even at the wedding? You know?
Probably not.
So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So they could have paid for the wedding. Maybe they'd taken care of the school debt, you know. So I don't know.
Right. didn't even think about that. The fact that, hey, I'm married and I have kids, and by the way, in order to be in relationship with your grandchildren, you got to cough up $100,000.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be kind of hard to swallow.
I guess I don't know. That's hard for me to say how I would respond. I mean, if I'm responding as me,
She would.
you know,
You would. Yeah. I would get beat up. Probably.
you wouldn't get beat up. No,
I'd be
Let's go have a
hospitalized.
talk. Yeah.
we'd be talking. You know,
I'd
you're
be swimming with the
in
fishes.
semen, and I'm right, and you know, just have your head above that so that I could talk to you before I submerge you. But no, I think I'm all about relationship. I know we're all about family, so I think for me, I would want to get to why you felt like you couldn't have just said, listen, I know that you don't want this, but I really am about this. I still love you. I ain't mad at you, but this is something I really want to do. And, you know, again, I think if that's what you want to do, bless you, send you on your way. I wouldn't want to have that. I'm losing words today.
I mean, you're saying
schism, or that gap
The
in our
rift.
relationship. Yeah, and I think I would try to make it so that us as a family would communicate. And
here's the thing. You guys are thinking from level-headed people that wouldn't have had a problem with, like, you paying my tuition, you paying for Brandon's sister Elisa's tuition.
you
guys
said,
are,
how would I act? That's how I would. I
Well,
wouldn't act like the
he
crazy
said-
lady in the thing.
Well, that's what I thought. I thought that's what it was supposed to be, of like, act as if you're the parents that have like these. I don't know.
Oh,
Because I feel like you guys wouldn't even be in the situation in the beginning.
true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, obviously.
So
Yeah.
if I was her, I guess I would try to convince the dad that maybe we need to sit down and just kind of talk this through. I don't understand why she did it, but let's talk about it. Because from a cultural perspective, I don't know what the woman's role in that culture is, other than to be subservient.
Yeah.
Subservient?
So, yeah.
Submissive?
Yeah.
Sub.
Sub. Way.
That's up.
$5
Sub
foot long.
chick? I don't know. Like
Sub
Filet.
chick,
Filet.
sub chick fillet. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Here we go.
Like
Yep.
dorks.
Whatever.
You
You
know.
know, if she's gonna go sub, I'll go sub.
Oh, okay. So we're the door. After she says that, we're the dorks, and you're laughing at that? Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next story. I think, though, I would say, to what you said at the beginning, when you're like, you're talking about how it's not really a fair expectation that she's asking them to pay money. I wonder if she's just so upset where she's like, I don't even think money could fix the situation of how big there is a problem in that family.
Right.
Where she was like, I think that's how dramatic she was being, of like, okay, well, if you want to fix this, then pay the $100,000. But I don't think she's actually expecting them to pay it. I think she's just like, this is
How much?
how big of an issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to what Miss Gina said, though, that she's just really hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realized I cut myself off. I was saying play devil's advocate, and I was like, after it was going halfway through the point, I was like, I didn't finish my point to make it like devil's advocate. But because in her head, I think she thinks she's right. Well, I mean, obviously she wrote the post, but like when you have a family that you can't open up to like that. So it's like she obviously thinks she's in the right. So coming from that perspective of, hey, she thinks she's right and this is why, then how would you react? That was it. But we ain't got time for that. We got to go to the next story, huh?
Yeah. We're going to do one more story. We were going to do 3, but we just we chat so much that it's like, let's just do one
This
more.
Momcast is amazing.
Momcast.
No, it's gotta be like
All
an
right,
over.
ready?
Yeah.
Momcast.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Like that.
Yeah. So
It's
here are
just
the
like flames on
two.
it.
Yeah, just flames. One's rainbows. You and I have flames, and then they have just rainbows in the middle.
Rainbows, okay.
So here are the 2 titles, and you tell me which one you guys want to hear. Am I the a-hole for jumping out of a bathroom window to avoid my mom's attempt at forcing a reunion between me and my ex-fiance? So that was one. Did you guys get that? It's a long sentence. Or am I the a-hole for not baking much for my family?
Personally, I like the first one.
Yeah.
Personally. Okay.
I wanted to say the second one
A
just
little
to go
more
against the
drama in
grain.
that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That
Good
one
to know.
sounds boring, but
I just wanted to go against the grain. Everybody said one, so I had to say the other.
He's such a rebel. All right.
without a cause. But go
Yeah.
ahead.
Just baked goods.
That's right.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
baked goods.
This is the cheesiest podcast ever.
He wants some bacon. He wants some baked stuff.
That's funny.
Just gonna just move right along. Am I the a-hole for jumping out of a bathroom window to avoid my mom's attempt at forcing a reunion between me and my ex-fiance? So, some backstory. I've been dating my ex-fiance Sarah for 4 years. We had been planning to get married in November 2020, but I found out at the start of this month that she cheated on me. She begged me to give her another chance, but I broke it off. The problem was that being cheated on, in my mind, is completely emasculating and humiliating, so I never told anyone that that was the reason we broke up. For obvious reasons, Sarah also didn't tell people we broke up because she cheated. Some people have blamed me for the breakup, including my mom. They just see that I dumped her out of the blue. I've gone very strict, no contact with Sarah after I discovered she was cheating on me. Sarah has been talking with my mom and has convinced her that if we could talk one more time, we would be able to reconcile. My mom has been applying hardcore pressure on me to talk with Sarah, but I've explained that there's no chance that we will ever get back together. So tonight, I go over to my mom's place because she's hosting family for Christmas Eve. I'm there for a bit, talking with my aunts and uncles and cousins when the doorbell rings and I see that it's Sarah. I ask, what the F is going on? And my mom says she invited Sarah so we can work this out in the spirit of the holidays. I'm pissed now because the only way to explain my side of the story is to tell everyone that I was cheated on. Complete humiliation in front of my whole family. So as my mom goes to the front door, I go to the bathroom. My mom starts knocking on the door, saying that I need to come out and talk to my ex like an adult. I say, F it. I kick out the window screen and I get in my car and I go home. My mom called me a short while ago saying she's cutting ties with me over my behavior. She's really fixated on me jumping out of the window. And that Sarah will always be like a child to her. My sister called me after to ream me out for ruining Christmas. I broke down and I told her that Sarah cheated on me, which is why I dumped her, and I didn't want to see her under any circumstances. She called me a big a-hole for lying to cover for myself. Am I in the wrong?
Okay, first of all, why is the mom in the relationship? Like I have an issue with that. So if he's in a relationship with someone and he chooses to break it off and she's fixated, it's like, well, then you date her because I'm not doing that. And so I agree. I don't know. I probably would have been mad about kicking my window out, but that you're gonna pay for that. But I'm not gonna cut you off behind. They weren't even married. So it's like there's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. There's a whole bunch of other people. Maybe y'all need to go to counseling or something. But yeah, and by the way, can you give me my $100 back for the window? So I think I'm siding with the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, the mom shouldn't have been in it. It shouldn't have been at a holiday event. And personally, I mean, I think he should have said something. I mean, you're close to your mom. You probably tell her. I mean, if somebody said something to me, my child, it's like, oh, I understand why things are going the way they're going. Even though, like you say, you want to stay out of the middle of it, but, you can just be there and say, well, I wish you'd have told me because I could be there to support you instead of thinking that, well, you did break out my window and that doesn't make me happy, but if you'd have just told me in the first place and stuff. So that's kind of what I think. I wished he would have said something. I wouldn't call him an a-hole. I just call him a brat right now, like quit being childish, and grow up and just say, just deal with it, instead of trying to hide behind it. And like the sister said, the sister was mad at him too because he was hiding. Is that what you're saying at the end? So she was upset with him because he was trying to hide his emotions and his feelings about it, and he could have just said, hey, this is the way it is.
Brandon, I think you could give some insight into this since you're the one who could potentially, obviously, I would never cheat on you. So I don't really know how you could imagine that happening. But would you feel like that is a emasculating thing to be cheated on? Or like, how would you feel?
I can see how it could be emasculating for a man because it's like, your girl went to another man because you're not man enough or something like that, or whatever reason people choose to cheat. But at a certain point, like, guys don't really express emotions, but he's literally running away from the problem. It's like, if I'm going through something, I can at least say the problem. Like, like, guys don't really express feelings or whatever. It's like, okay, but you're running away from like, you didn't tell your parents, you didn't tell anybody that she cheated on you. That's different.
Because like, just pretending like you're still together, kind of, right?
Yeah. So it's like, you're just.
Pretending like it was like an amicable split up, or that it was his fault, not necessarily that they're together, because they're not together anymore.
Okay.
Like, there's no lie, anything that happened. Like, I mean, well, there is a lie, but it's like, bro, just tell the truth. Like, that's all you have to do at the end of the day is tell the truth. And they're like, oh, because I feel like cheating, everybody's just like, oh, okay, if you want to talk about it, but if you don't, I get it, But it's like, yeah, nah. I could see why they're like, you're being childish for this, because ain't no reason you need to kick out a... If anything, that would have been like perfect time to be petty. Like, oh, we're doing this?
Great, everybody's here.
You bought her Christmas?
Exactly. Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Here's some drama.
But see, I have mad respect for him for that, because he, to me, now it was a little childish to dip out the window. Yes, like you didn't need to kick out your mama's screen in her bathroom to do that. However, I think that I don't know. I feel like he covered for her, and yeah, maybe he should have just said, you know what, we had a situation happen. I don't want to talk about it, but that's why we chose to break up, or I chose to break it off. But instead, he chose to cover for her and protect her because he didn't want to embarrass her. So I kind of got respect for him in that.
He didn't want to embarrass her. He didn't want to embarrass himself.
Oh, my bad. Well, then that sucks.
Like, he did help her out in that way, but I think he was
he didn't want to be embarrassed.
He didn't want to be embarrassed. Like, I think
they both could have been embarrassed.
Well, yeah.
He could, he could have, like, said, this is what happened. Now I'm embarrassed that happened to me, even though she was being selfish and thinking of herself instead of, what they have together. So
I feel like the person that cheats should be more embarrassed than the person that got cheated on. I understand that it's like an internal thing within him, but it's like, I mean, I wouldn't be like shouting it from the rooftops if I was in his situation, but I also wouldn't be like hiding it, like what you guys are saying. I wouldn't be embarrassed to be like, yeah, he cheated on me, because it's like, you didn't do anything wrong. There was things that you probably needed to work on in your relationship, but that never warranted him choosing to be with somebody else and like breaking that trust that you guys have. So the fact that, he's like embarrassed to like tell his family, it's like, you don't need to be embarrassed. These are people that can support you in these situations. But
we don't know his family either.
That's true.
You a punk, dude. You can't even keep a woman.
That's true.
Every time you get somebody, she cheating on you. See, I can hear Uncle Charlie saying that at the Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
And Grandma's like, baby, she broke up with you. Did you cheat? She cheated on you too? Like them other girls did. See, I can see that happening. And you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Maybe he's like, and you did it in front of my whole family.
On Christmas.
On Christmas. Like, not New Year's, not my birthday, not Thanksgiving, but Christmas.
Sadly, I'm not putting myself anywhere in there, but I feel like Elise would be like, yeah, you suck because you ruined Christmas.
Yeah, she'd be mad.
And I'd be like, all right, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like the whole family was mad at him. But I feel like, okay, there's so many layers. Like, so many people are at fault. The girl's at fault for going behind his back. The mom's at fault for inviting her not any other day of the week,
Right.
not any other holiday. Christmas. That's like one of the most family-filled events. Why are you doing that on Christmas? And he's really messed up for kicking out that window because that window didn't deserve it. Just because you got cheated on don't mean you need to kick someone else's window out. That's crazy.
That's true.
Mom is also messed up because she's just way too much in his relationship. And then besides also kicking out the window, he's messed up because he was struggling to communicate the real issue. And so he ended up kicking out a window. And Mom's like, that's my favorite window.
The real hero is the sister, though, because she kept it real.
It's true.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I wish the sister, I wish we would have known what more the sister had to say about the actual cheater, though. Because it's like, okay, you're the a-hole for not saying anything for the longest time when this could have been dealt with. But also, I don't want to ever see her at the house ever again. You
Yes.
know,
That's
something like
true.
that.
I'll be talking to Mom.
Yeah, because the sister could have been like, "Hey, bro, you could have just told me. I would have took her out. We would have had this problem."
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe. But now you ruined my Christmas.
And you got cheated on. Again.
Loser.
Loser.
Poor guy.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Man. Well, thank you guys for joining me for the Momcast.
Momcast.
Momcast. No, not them remembering the choreography. All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Yeah, Momcast.